Hello everyone, welcome to CollectAWrestlePalooza. If you're into 80s or 90s pop culture, wrestling, sports cards, all things nostalgia, you found a channel for you. So I'm going to talk today about 2023. I'm going to talk about my life as a collector in 2023, where I'm at in the hobby, what's happened so far the first couple months. Let's have some fun.
CollectAWrestlePalooza. CollectAWrestlePalooza.
2023, where are we at? What's happened in the hobby? What's happened in my life? What's happened in sports cards? What's the flavor of this year? Looking back into 2022, that was prices going down. It was attrition in the hobby. It was people leaving the hobby, maybe the veterans sticking around, a lot of new faces, a lot of segmentation. So, some people coming into sports cards, some people coming in just to wrestling cards, some parts of the sports card hobby doing better than others. I think it was more people trying to focus and starting to really think about their niche in the hobby. Are you going to be a hobby box collector? Are you going to be a super collector? Are you going to just buy rookies, just buy Panini Prism, just buy the shiny stuff, just buy patch autos, just buy nostalgia, just buy, you name it. That's what people were talking about, in my perspective, on social media, at least in the wrestling card world and also in the sports card world, was what elements of the hobby are doing good, what elements of the hobby are not doing good. People looking at that from both a financial perspective, but also from a collecting perspective. So 2022 is about that for me. What is 2023 about? And I feel like during this year, some people are taking a step back. Some people are really evaluating even more if they're going to be in this for the long haul. I think everyone is in a pause right now, waiting to see if there's another boom. So prices have come down, prices are stabilizing. Is this going to be a time to turn your hobby into a business? Or is this going to be a time to really say, you know what? I collect what I love. That's good enough for me. That's the level I'm going to stay at for the rest of my life, or at least for the next 5 years. So I feel like that's the flavor of 2023 so far, and that's the flavor for me. I'm really evaluating what is CollectAWrestlePalooza. Ultimately, what I know is that CollectAWrestlePalooza is a social media brand. And what I mean by that is YouTube content, folks that visit my Twitter, visit my Instagram. That's what's gonna stay, because I love that. I love talking about the hobby. I love talking about my experiences. I love sharing with my peers, meeting people, and just seeing what's up. That to me is the best outlet and the best use of my time. I do run an eBay store. I do buy and sell. I'm not looking to lose money at that, but I'm also not looking to make money. I don't go out and buy stuff and then worry about it, overspend, and have huge assets that I have to turn in order to make a profit. And in my opinion, that's the only way to run a successful business in sports cards, is to take some risk, because there just isn't really a markdown for wholesale. Most people that buy and sell goods, they have an outlet to purchase in bulk with wholesale and resell it at least a 50% markup, if not 100%, and that's off the shelf. So you buy something for $1, you sell it for $2. The opportunities to do that in sports cards are difficult. They're not really there, and they take a big upfront capital investment into a volatile market. So really, if you're gonna make it in sports cards, you have to take risks, you have to get lucky, and you have to have cash flow. You have to have that bank of money that during the ups and downs, you're not gonna lose your shirt and you can ride it out. And that's not me. I do have my investments, I have my job, I run an Airbnb business on the side. I'm stable in that regards, but not so much that I can put 50, 100 grand into sports cards in order to really secure a cash flow to turn this thing into a viable business. Maybe in the future, once my collection builds, maybe if I get lucky and the trends go up, there'll be certain years that I'll make more than others, but it isn't really the flavor of what I do. So that's one conclusion in 2023 that I'm drawing, is social media, talking about sports cards, content. That's more my thing. The eBay store I love, I want to continue to grow it, but I'm not in a rush to grow that. Okay, so I want to talk about the market fundamentals, what's happening with pricing. It's something that I think about all the time, mostly because I love it. I have a career in finance and I have a background in finance, and I like thinking about cards as currency. So one basic fundamental in currency is relational value. $1 is a piece of paper, it's not worth anything. Why is this $20 slip of paper worth more than this $1 slip of paper? It's because the picture that's on the $20 bill is different than the picture that's on the $1 bill. People want it more because it can be traded for more valuable things. That's all relational value. And really, sports cards are the exact same thing. A cardboard picture of Mario Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan or LeBron James is worth more than a cardboard picture of Kirby Puckett or Dwight Evans. It's just the way it is. It's what people are willing to trade for that, and that is currency. Now, there's a concept when you think about money and currency called a bank run. So prices tend to either go up or prices tend to either go down. Rarely do prices stay the same in volatile markets. And bank runs basically imply that people tend to exasperate a situation based on what other people are doing. And the stabilization of a bank is necessary, particularly because we don't have a gold standard anymore. So if a bank holds gold, which theoretically has some real value in a vault, then anyone coming in to trade in a dollar bill for $1's worth of gold is going to have something that they can hold on to that has real value that this piece of paper doesn't. Banks don't do that anymore. No viable country or no viable currency system has a gold standard anymore. It's just a thing of the past. So if people all want to pull their currency from the bank to hold on to it because they don't think that the bank is going to be able to give them the assets that they need in their accounts are going to be locked, and it's going to be even one further step away, which is it's a number printed on a screen that you can't even pull the currency for because the bank doesn't have it. That is a bank run. Everyone goes to the bank and everyone wants to pull their money out because they see other people doing it. That's the basic fundamental of what a bank run is. Same thing happens in sports cards. Everyone is selling. Everyone wants to get in and get the best price they can before the market tumbles. And that perpetuates bad habits in the hobby. The same thing happens in buying. People that watch my channel know that one thing I'm very concerned with is health, mental health, health in the hobby. I don't like seeing my friends get in over their head. I don't like seeing people fail. I don't like seeing people go bankrupt, ruin their lives over these little pieces of cardboard that relate to something that doesn't even have any meaning, which is sports. I mean, sports don't do anything productive for society except as entertainment and competition. The value in that is really the value that we put into it. And I hate seeing people ruin their lives over that. So I really like people to take a step back and think about all of this stuff in a really healthy way. So, going back to bank runs, same thing happens when prices go up. On the flip side, everyone wants to buy because they see the price go up and they want to buy at the lowest price they can before other people want it even more. So that perpetuates an upward cycle, which is what happened in 2021 into 2022. It's happened before, it'll happen again. Now, within that, there's the thing called FOMO. And again, folks that watch my channel know in a previous video I talked about healthy habits in the hobby. One of those things is FOMO, the concept of FOMO, and not being tied to FOMO. FOMO is very, very difficult because I go through it myself. Right now I'm looking at the WWE Panini hobby box. I say to myself, that is a good investment. At $200, $250, whatever it is now, that is something that checks off all the boxes. It's the first WWE Panini release. It has some valuable cards. It's got 2 autographs. It's just one of those marquee items. I see at $200 and $250 being a pretty safe investment. 2 WWE autographs alone can get you back your $200 to $250, let alone in a sealed box of 12 packs of 12 cards each. Seems like a no-brainer, right? That's FOMO though, because I look at that and I say, I have to get in on that. Now, realistically, when am I going to sell that? Am I going to hold on to it till it goes up to $1,000, $2,000, $5,000? Probably not. I'm probably going to see it goes to $400 and I'm going to sell it at $400. So yeah, I'm going to make 150 bucks on that, minus whatever the eBay fees are, and also tying up my money, you know, and not getting interest on that money, opportunity cost of money, all that stuff. So it really isn't something that's worth worrying about, you know? I mean, so what? If I see it, if I miss out, that's okay. There's gonna be a new opportunity. There's gonna be a new hot thing. There's gonna be something new for you to really spend your time looking at, spend your valuable time, you know, processing in your mental space. You only have so much time to think during the day, right? So there's always gonna be other things like that. Don't get too obsessed about one thing that you see as the next big thing. Yes, you might be right. You might have hit the nail on the head. There are collectors that do that and make a ton of money, but at the end of the day, they're pretty lucky. No one has a crystal ball. So people that have good luck say it's skill, and at the end of the day, it was just luck. So that's something I'm thinking about in 2023, really taking a step back from a lot of these emotions and cards and really trying to make sure that I'm aligning myself to healthy habits in the hobby. Now let's talk about wrestling cards in particular. What's going to happen in 2023 with wrestling cards? Again, who knows? But I think it's still a really ripe time in the hobby. I mean, look at what happened with Panini. Look at these releases. You've got the Panini Prism, you've got these immaculate collections coming out. You've got these superstars that never had the marquee cards, the patch autos that the Patrick Mahomes has, the, you know, super high potential value cards are coming into the hobby right now. That's really exciting. Because sports cards, baseball cards got reinvigorated when they started getting these really big marquee card companies that were making these awesome patch autos and these shiny, you know, silver hologram, you know, Palooza cards. I mean, geez, crow, that's when people started to get back into it. That's when people started to reinvestigate the vintage stuff, and it just added to the hobby. So even though there was this huge spike and then this lull, I'm still really excited about wrestling cards because the brand, WWE stock, which I own, is up. I bought it at $40, $50 a share. 6 months later, it's $70, $80 a share, and it continues to grow and it pays dividends. And WWE is an entertainment brand. I think of it the same way as Star Wars, right? So Star Wars was this really immensely valuable brand, and then Disney bought it and just brought it to the next level. Now it's a cultural, societal thing. And look at what's happened with Star Wars cards. I mean, a hobby that was already really big has just gotten even that much bigger. Same thing is going to happen with wrestling. In my opinion, again, I'm not a professional. Don't take my advice unless you agree with it. But I still think the future of wrestling cards is right there in our hands. Panini coming in, all of these amazing reevaluations. It's postmodern art. So post-modernity in art is this idea of recombining elements of the past into this new modernism, and that's what these cards are. They're postmodern pieces of art. Some of them look like the old cards, some of them, you know, look like the vintage stuff, but they're reimagined, redesigned, and they're for a contemporary modern audience. To me, that's all really exciting, and that's going to breathe life and continue to breathe life into current selections, but then also people looking back at the vintage stuff and wanting to get the real authenticity. So I don't think there's a lose situation right now in wrestling cards. I think whatever you're going to go out and buy is good. We got my cat right here. He's coming to say hi. This is Ivan. Say hello, guy. So Ivan is a 3-year-old cat. I knew he was gonna knock down the camera, so I thought I might as well take him off the edge of the couch before he did so. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Ivan's telling me it's time to go, time to play with him. But those are some thoughts that I'm having right now in the hobby. I'm in it to win it. I hope you guys are too. I hope you continue to support the channel and continue to support what I'm doing here. Oh, one more thing, some really exciting news. One of the most prominent wrestling card figures is making a cardboard set of collectors and has decided to include me on a piece of cardboard. So my image, CollectAWrestlePalooza, is gonna be on a piece of cardboard. More details to come. Don't want to give you more details than that because I don't know if it's become public that this card set is coming out, but super exciting. So thanks again for watching. Have a great week.